Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are live with our beloved brother Cov Ff and little Habibi. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Thank you, brother, for having us. What a beautiful introduction. How's everything, Habibi?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Enjoying your videos and seeing your activities. So glad you were able to get this stream going. And we're doing our first live stream from Ethiopia. Alhamdulillah. So it's a good morning. Beautiful view we've got there, brother.
Yeah, we're right at the top of the hotel. They've got a beautiful balcony area here. And you can overlook the city here. As you can see, there's so much construction taking place here in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa. There's so much investment taking place here, and to witness it in real time, to be here and see the development of this beautiful city of Addis Ababa, which means like the new flower. Addis Ababa means like new flower, and you can see it's really beautiful, Habibi. And Ethiopia is definitely a place to come and visit and invest in. Also, I would say if you got any spare change.
Yeah, no, I mean I saw Unity Park. Was it Unity Park you were at yesterday?
Yeah.
And it just seemed beautiful, like where you were walking around and what we saw. How was that, and just tell us a little bit about Unity Park.
Yeah, Unity Park basically is it kind of like gives you a holistic image and picture of how Ethiopia came to be, how different nations and religions and people came here, and the negative aspects of people trying to colonize Ethiopia from the Italians, and they never succeeded. And the history of Ethiopia is really amazing because I can really go into like a brief history lesson, whereas the Chinese and the Russians have always had their hands and interests in Ethiopia and vice versa. And then, of course, before that, the Islamic migration in the 7th century of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ coming to a place called Aksum here in Ethiopia, and how they were received by King Rajashi, may Allah have mercy upon him, and how Islam began here, and how the trading began, and that's how Islam began to spread, is because through the trading of the Arabs and the Abyssinians. And Unity Park actually is like a history lesson. As you walk around, there's like information about Ethiopia and how it developed and stuff from the early ages until now. It's amazing, Habibi.
Wow. And so I saw like you engaging with the people there. Everyone seems so welcoming and hospitable, and I think you mentioned like no one really bothers you. Also, like at the park, it was all just very calm and nice.
Yeah, Habibi, one thing I'm going to emphasize, and I've mentioned it so many times in my other vlogs and videos, that the people here, the Orthodox Christians, are very respectful. They are completely different. You can tell, and may Allah protect the people here in Ethiopia, that they are not influenced by the West. The West do not dictate how the people live here, and it's amazing to see that. And when you're with your family here, brother, with your children, you're not harassed, or you're not like pushed around or dragged, here and there and bugged and stuff. It feels quite safe here, to be honest, Habibi, especially where it's like developed, like, even though the people still keep their culture and their traditions, but they are very respectful, brother. And like my 3rd day here, and it's been really good, alhamdulillah. It's been really nice.
Alhamdulillah. So what's on the agenda to go over the next So you went to Unity Park. Where else have you been, or where do you plan to go while you're over the next couple of days?
Yeah, it was really nice to meet my family here, which I never met before. Meaning my mother-in-law and her mother, like my great grandma, or from my family side, my wife's side.
Yeah.
It was really
Okay.
nice to meet them,
Alhamdulillah.
and she's like over 100 years old, and you can't even tell she's, mashallah, may Allah protect and preserve her, and she doesn't even look over 100 years old, mashallah. And yeah,
MashaAllah.
alhamdulillah, and it was nice to see my family and from that side, uh, and that's all I've been doing for the last couple of days. And then today is more of a like a chill out day. It's a Sunday today, and it's really quiet. And I think today or tomorrow is like the Ethiopian New Year, and of course the Ethiopian calendar is linked to their Christian Orthodox calendar. So for them, it'll be like a Christian New Year, which is quite amazing for me to kind of like observe, and uh, how Christianity and their way of life is completely different to uh, Christianity in the West. I'm sorry for taking you off the track slightly,
No, no,
brother
no. It's
Fahmy, this moment.
fascinating. It's fascinating. Go on, carry on.
But I do like find it amazing how, as we living in the UK, we experience like certain Christian denominations and how they behave and how they act. Here in Ethiopia, brother, they are, wallahi, you know, Islam and Christianity here in Ethiopia, they are really closely linked together. And unfortunately, there are some elements from external elements who try to disturb and rattle the situation here. But overall, mashallah, everybody lives in peace and harmony, brother. It is really nice, alhamdulillah. I feel safe here, to be honest. Probably safer
Alhamdulillah.
than the UK. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Right. So, like, so where does the date for this New Year sort of come from? Is it from a Catholic perspective, or just their Orthodox perspective? Is it based
That's
on some sort of, because obviously, like, typically, Easter is connected with that, the resurrection, or um alleged resurrection, but how does it operate on this side of things in terms of this new year, and what it's connected to? Have you been able to find that out, or is that something you'll be investigating and educating on?
The New Year is just celebrated because it's New Year.
Yeah, sorry, brother. I'm just. It's a very good question. I think Ethiopia and Eritrea, which Eritrea is like a neighbor of Ethiopia, and they have the same type of populations, meaning Muslims and Christians. And for those people who don't know much about Eritrea, probably first ever heard of it, is another country next to Ethiopia, and of course they're highly linked with people from Yemen and the Middle East. There is a beautiful connection with the Middle East and this part of Abyssinia, or Ethiopia and Eritrea. But the question you asked me, I'm not 100% sure regarding if it's linked with the calendar, or Orthodox Christian calendar. I can ask later on. Maybe I can ask somebody if somebody's around. But you know, one thing,
Inshallah, yes.
Habibi,
Hmm.
it's amazing how people want to share their culture here, and they want to talk to you and tell you about their history and stuff, which is really nice.
I know a fact about New Year.
Go on. Hudayfa said he knows. Go ahead, Hudayfa.
So there's a fact about the New Year that every New Year there's this special yellow flowers in every spring, and it's only unique to Ethiopia. And Ethiopians celebrate, and they have it for like decorations, and then there's a tradition in Ethiopia. For the girls, there's this New Year song called Ababayos, and the tradition is for like when they go to people's doors, they knock on it, and then it's not the Muslims one, obviously not the Muslims one, because this is like the Christian tradition. They sing the Ababayos at the doors, and then the tradition is for the person in the house to give them money, and that's the tradition of New Year in Ethiopia.
Wow. Well, that was it. We had all that knowledge just sitting next to you, Cov, and we didn't get the answer from it. Well, alhamdulillah. So really, it's like sort of like a seasonal for the blossoming of the new flower or the new season, and being grateful for it, possibly.
That's why
Uh,
part of the flag of Ethiopia is yellow to represent the flower.
alhamdulillah,
The
alhamdulillah.
colors of the flag is like green is for the like because of the greenery, yellow for the special flower, and red for the Ethiopian heritage and blood that
Little,
people sacrificed in wars.
little Habibi, we need to be asking you the questions first, really, to get the answers. Wow.
Alhamdulillah.
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 Okay. Wow. That's a lot of information that um has come. Okay, okay. Popcorn. You need to make sure you're not popping off too much, that we can get my little chef to answer some of these questions also. So actually, speaking of little chef, how was your experience of cooking yesterday? And
Was
what was that like?
it was fun and the food, the injera. We also put this paste called the red paste. If you did, in the video there's that red paste that they put on the injera.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a spice. It's called berberry, and then they put it on the injera. When they like brush it on the injera, the dish is called katanya.
Wow. Okay. So has it got a bit of spice to it, and then the bread
Yeah,
calms down the spice, and so it's just ends up being
it's
very
like
tasty.
it's like berberry is supposed to be like the basic spice, and then there's a very spicy spice called mitmita. That's
Alhamdulillah.
Barbara's favorite one.
I've got I've got a very another important question for you. How was your pizza yesterday?
The pizza was very yummy, and probably the second best pizza in Ethiopia.
The second best.
Yeah.
What would you say the first best was?
So there's this park next to Unity Park called Friendship Park. We went there, and there's a restaurant there, and then we had pizza from there, and that's my favorite pizza from Ethiopia.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. Well, we need to do a food review, and I think by the end of the trip we'll have a very good grasp of the best pizza places. What do you like on your pizza?
I like the cheese pizza.
Okay, mashallah, right. Popcorn. How was your What was that dish you had yesterday with the fried egg and the
Yeah,
onions and chili? I wanted you said something.
yeah.
What?
It's called fool. Fool. It's like flower beans. They're called flower beans. They're like large, as we call like kidney beans, but they're like a
Okay.
family from the same family. And the reason I had it because it's very good for you, Habibi. It's like pure protein, and I had breakfast in the morning, and then we went to Unity Park. I worked out in the morning, then we went to Unity Park, and we walked miles, brother, in Unity Park. And I came back, and then me and Hudayfa, we had food in the hotel, and it was really nice, mashallah. It was so natural. Because brother friendly Muslim, you know what happens here, Habibi? There's no preservatives and e numbers in the ingredients here. It's all natural, and it tastes completely different, Habibi. Even like the salad, tomatoes, peppers, the bread. It's even bread, the bakery. It tastes completely different, Habibi. You know?
Wow, alhamdulillah. Did the so was the was it's full? That's how you say it. Was that under the egg, basically? Was
Yeah,
that
it was. Yeah,
okay?
it's
Okay.
under the egg. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, where is it? Like you had mentioned it, I was like, is it hiding under the egg or okay? Look tasty though. Look tasty. It's very appetizing to the eye. So you did also did a beautiful review of like the hotel and things. The cameraman was very good, very stable. Uh, had some great zoom in work on that, which was good, alhamdulillah. So hotels in the area are kind of that same sort of standard, or what's kind of like the infrastructure over there?
Well, that's a good question, brother friendly Muslim. As you look here now on the at the skyline here in Addis Ababa, there's cranes everywhere where buildings are being built in basically real time, brother. There's cranes everywhere, scattered. I can just, as you can see now, as I zoom towards my left, there's a building being made right now. If I go a bit more to my left, there's another building here on my left. I don't know if you can see the scaffolding.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. And in the far, far distance over there with the blue kind of like plastic sheeting, there's another building being built. There's cranes everywhere, Habibi. But the development here, the investment that's taking place here in Ethiopia is second to none, brother. It really is. And one thing you do notice, there are a lot of foreign nationals here. I wouldn't say, I haven't seen a lot, but there are like from the Chinese and other than that, who come here, who invest and start businesses here because they know that Ethiopia is its upcoming developing nation. But the hotel standard is high now because due to the tourism coming in, I think the laws and regulations have been put into place for tourists to come and experience Addis Ababa. And staying here at the Triple E Hotel, I think is a 4-star hotel, Habibi. And I haven't got no complaints regarding this hotel. So, like I said, my third day so far, it's been really good. The people are very helpful, very respectful. Some of the staff do speak English, which is quite helpful. And but communications, you can always communicate with people by just like being respectful and sign language and stuff like that. So it's the people are very helpful here in the hotel, and but there are like other hotels here which are like 5-star. Like there's one famous one called Skyline Hotel, which is well known here in Addis Ababa, and I think that's like one of the best ones. And but majority of the hotels here now, due to the rules and regulations, are like 4 to 5-star, mashallah. And you really can't tell the difference of quality when you're here in the UK and here in Addis Ababa.
Wow, alhamdulillah. So we've got a question from Sister Salika. Can you tell that there has been tension between the Muslims and Christians?
That's a good question, brother. And like I mentioned before, there are external groups who are trying to stir up trouble in parts of Ethiopia. And I have heard, when I speak to my family yesterday, like places like Gondor.
Black people were orphans because of Gondor, and then they had to go like travel to Addis Ababa because of the war, and then some of the children lost their parents and now they're by themselves, and they have to earn a living by themselves, which is sad.
Yeah, as Hudayfa said, like I said, there are external organizations, and we know it's happened in Pakistan, brother friendly Muslim, and it's happened in other countries where certain organizations, external organizations, would pay mercenaries or under the banner of a particular organization in the country, but in reality they are external forces who try to destabilize a country for their own needs. As we know now, due to the situation in Russia and stuff, anybody who's got some links with Russia or China, I think these type of countries on other countries are like a list where they're trying to destabilize and ruin that country. For example, in Pakistan, brother friendly Muslim and all those brothers and sisters can tell now the fact that Imran Khan was removed is because of the CIA from the Americans, because he had good links and ties with Russia and he wouldn't break those links. And I think the same situation here is in Ethiopia. The Russians and the Chinese have got good links here with the people of Ethiopia.
Wow. Okay. All right. Wow. That's also. I mean, to hear about the orphans on that side is incredibly sad.
Yeah.
You know, and may Allah give them peace and ease.
I
And
mean,
I mean, and so yeah, and then also yeah, like the whole political divide, which again historically has happened in many places, and you know, obviously touching in Pakistan at the moment. This has come out of nowhere, such eruptions, you know, and it's kind of been used also as a you know, some of the apologists are trying to use the situation as an argument, which which again, these are crimes that are taking place. You know, in Pakistan, when a mob had done something to a Hindu temple, they did suffer legal consequences for their actions. You know, so at no stage is this sort of breaking of laws, um, you know, allowed. You know, it's not something that they, you know, but they're trying to. Oh, the Muslims are running riot, and I'm just able to do this. No, that they're not. They're not. These are protected buildings. These are people's property that is being damaged by a mob. This is not jurisdiction that is happening. These are not government entities that are coming and doing this. They are mobs, and it is criminality. Simple as that. So you know, again, for people to put it on Muslims, or the apologists using it as, oh, the Muslims are doing it. No, it's a criminal mob that are taking this action, and that's where it should stand in my book.
yeah, well said, brother friendly Muslim. I think it's more apparent now due to social media, and certain uh, media outlets are willing to report the truth. Like previously, we hear stories of countries being taken over due to you know, they're not treating the women fairly, or they're not, you know, they're not democracy, and these foreign countries are doing it just to destabilize. And we've seen it, brother. We've seen it for the last 15 years through, you know, Iraq and Syria and Niger right now, the African country, and because they're linked with, they've got good connections with Russia and China, you know, and of course the West, the Americans and the British and the Europeans don't want these countries to do business and do economical unity among them. They don't want to see that, you know. And this is, and as of course Imran Khan was a beautiful example, because when the day that the war kicked off, he's actually was in Russia and he was on TV and he shook Putin's hand and everything.
Salika said, "What are you looking forward to the most?"
So there is a, you know, we see it now, brother. You see it on the news. My advice for those brothers and sisters who want to understand the situation, I kind of follow a brother or a particular individual called George Galloway, and there's another guy called Scott. God, he's a ex-CIA agent, but Scott Ritter, his name is, and they actually try to give you the real story about, you know, the situations that are taking place, because a lot of the Western media, as we know, brother, from, you know, the big corporations, are giving you and feeding you a pack of lies regarding the war in Russia and Ukraine. What's your take on that, brother, friendly Muslim?
Yeah, no. I think we've always, I mean, normally in past seasons, when these incidents happen, you know, I've tried to make sure that the truth of the situation is also put out there. That especially when it's the headline is Muslims destroy church, and they're not. The whole thing is it seems as if they've got the green light to go and do what they're doing. Whereas the part where they're criminally charged and there's repercussions, that part isn't reported. So I've always made sure that I'm able to sort of discuss both angles of that. But yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of political agendas that take place, and you see the results of these behind the scenes political maneuvers that happen domestically and internationally. To be fair, moving on to the next question, which is, and again, we're coming up to the half an hour mark, and so I'll need to wrap up on my end. But what are you looking forward to seeing the most?
Well, that's another good question. Of course, that question comes from our noble sister Salika. Um, what I'm looking forward to most is actually going to the masjid itself, Masjid Musab ibn Umar, uh, going there and seeing the difference that you guys have made uh, by developing the masjid and the community there, and to be able to see the joy um, of the imam and the local community of from where we are in the UK, scattered in the UK, from thousands of miles away. We've never met these people before in our life. We don't even know their names and the community and so forth, but we are linked closely with them due to our faith and due to our uh, brotherhood and sisterhood. I really want to share with all of you guys, and I'm looking forward to capturing all that. And I don't know how I personally am going to deal with it, because as you know, brother Habibi, I get a bit, tearful that Allah's given this opportunity for us, for me, you, and everybody else to do these type of actions, and our Allah's put us in this situation for a reason, brother.
Yeah,
This was written for us. Yeah, this was written for us before we even were put on this earth, and Allah has put this amana, or this trust, on all of us. I'm not on about myself here, I'm about you, Sister Salika, all those brothers and sisters who have contributed towards the channel and the masjid. And just to see them, brother, just to see the community there in Addis Ababa, Masjid Musab ibn Umar, and that's it, brother. And just to, I don't know, brother, just to thank Allah for all these opportunities. And sometimes, brother, I'm gonna just talk something which is really important to me, just for 2 minutes, brother, if you don't mind.
yeah, of course.
Brother, one thing we don't take for granted is our health.
Yeah,
And our health, the health of our family members, the health of our children. We overlook it, brother, and we put other stresses above that. For example, we can't get Wi-Fi, and we're stressed about it. We're like, the signal is poor, or the electric's been cut off, or the water source has been stopped, from Severn Trent Water or whatever. We stress over things like that. But rather, we should just say, Alhamdulillah, brother. Alhamdulillah. Allah's blessed us with so much. And the verse of the surah of the Quran, فَبِأَيِّ آلَا, how many bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, and all that تُكَذِّبَانِ. If you, Habibi, that surah itself, brother, if you reflect upon that, how many bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, and we don't read it, we don't listen to it, but that whole surah is explaining to us how much Allah has given us. But still, unfortunately, some of us, we're still ungrateful for all those blessings. Sorry, brother, friend Muslim. I just wanted to share that with you, and just to ponder upon that. And I do ponder upon that myself personally a lot.
yeah, no, I do too. When I've had some illnesses, and I've been struggling to breathe, and it's been it always puts it in perspective. And also how fragile life is also. Alhamdulillah, for every day that we are here, and for the good and for the bad that we have to overcome and strive, and Allah allows us to to guide us, to journey with us, to provide us, to hear us. Alhamdulillah, there is a blessing in everything that we do. Um, and yeah, it's beautiful to just ponder that also. We do get caught up, and I think that's the beauty of Islam, is also that submission, and alleviating yourself of that, where you put things in others' graces also. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, that's just a quick reminder for myself first, brother, and everybody else. And we really have to be grateful. I know I keep on banging on this so much, but we have to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything. Everything. Wallahi. We could be a lot worse, or a difficult situation, a lot worse than what we are in. And even the people who are here in Addis Ababa, you see young children from the ages of 6 or 7, brother, trying to earn a living. Yes, there is poverty here, and so forth. And imagine, Allahu Akbar, brother. We are blessed. We are blessed. I know sometimes we over a month, when we get a salary, when we get paid, we might be like £10 or £20 or £200 overdrawn, and we're like, oh, that's the end of the world for us. That's it now. But brother, we, alhamdulillah, Allah's given us the physical ability to go out and earn. Don't be depressed. Don't get stressed. Allah will always find a way out for you. And you just gotta, hold on to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and stay firm, And brother, there is 2 more questions, and I do apologize, friendly Muslim. I'm a bit passionate right now. When you ask me these questions, I get a bit passionate and emotional, and
No,
I do
you.
apologize.
What was the what? Oh, so we've got these 2 questions. What are you looking forward to seeing most, and then uh, what are you wanting to achieve while you're there? Um,
First question, say that again, brother.
What do you want to achieve while you are there?
Okay, that's a good question. First of all I want to achieve here is my initial intentions of coming to Ethiopia was for the masjid, and my intentions are still there. Is whatever I'm trying to do now is do something for the masjid. So making links right now with certain imams here in Addis Ababa, finding out where the bookshops are, where I can get books and Qur'ans from, and then my goal is to purchase the books and the Qur'ans and deliver all of them. Whoever's told me to do something and left the imana for me, brother, friendly Muslim, I have to fulfill that imana. Until I can do that, I really haven't achieved anything yet. Once I've done that, then I can kind of take a relax for a bit, because there is a lot of imana, brother. When somebody donates money, it's very huge for me, brother, because of course, brother, friendly Muslim, as Muslims, if somebody gives you a responsibility for the sake of Allah, you have to fulfill it. Does that make sense?
yeah, no, of course.
So once I've did that, that's what I want to achieve, and that's what my goals are, to go and deal with my to go and deal with our project regarding the masjid. Once that's done, then inshallah I can take a sigh of relief, and then continue with enjoying Addis Ababa, and then continuing touring and having a look around, mashallah. There's a second question, wasn't there?
But hopes and dreams.
Okay, hopes and dreams. My hopes and dreams are always linked with my akhirah. Wow, brother, friendly Muslim, don't do this to me, brother. Don't do this to me. Don't do this, Habibi. Yeah, that's it, brother. Just akhirah. That's it. That Allah gives us a good ending, a noble ending. That's it, brother. That's it.
Inshallah, inshallah. We've got our beloved brother Aladdin. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa
Alaikum
barakatuh.
salam wa rahmatullah, Sheikh Aladdin.
The oh, good to see our brother there also, and some lovely messages from our sister Salika.
Alhamdulillah.
And we are with you. Absolutely, 100%. We are with you every step of the way, inshallah. But yeah, no, it is a great journey, brother, and I'm looking forward to when you go there also. And you know, we are we're blessed to see our brothers and sisters over there. See you interacting with them, because alhamdulillah, by way of the internet, we've been able to connect. But to see you actually physically go there will be a beautiful thing, also, inshallah. You know, and again, I think what, this is actually a great trip that you've gone and done. It's like you sort of putting the flag out and saying, look, there's a way of getting here. People may, you know, it may not even be a place where people think themselves that they would go. And for you to sort of show your journey and everything else, and show how safe it is and how modernized it is, etc., will be an eye opener for people. And I think that in itself is a great reward for the country and the people there. That you're able to just show something that we don't see, because we may not see that in the news. These aren't the images that you necessarily see of the region.
True.
And
True.
so for you to highlight that is a beautiful thing in itself, alhamdulillah.
Now, as well said, brother, friendly Muslim, that is so true. Being here and experiencing it, it is totally different to what you see on the media. But I just want to say something, inshallah, before we end the show, is that, please continue to do your best to be a good Muslim, to be upright, to be kind to your parents, to be good to your children, and just live a noble life, guys. Just be honest with your life, but still be firm. Like with Hudayfa, sometimes he fidgets around and jumps around. Sometimes I look at him and give him that the the stare. One of those when your parents look at you and you're like, oh, like that. So yeah, you still got to be you got to be firm but fair. So that's my advice to everybody, guys. We don't want to put our fingers into this dunya, because this dunya is just a small journey, a blink of an eye, and our main aim is the akhirah, which is going to be for forever, and this is what we should really aim for. And yeah, brother, I can't really emphasize those statements enough, that this is just a blink of an eye, brother. It really is. Yeah. And the akhirah, this is what we're building for. Like you see everywhere here, this construction being built everywhere. They're making this country great. They're making this country stable and strong and so forth for the future. This is what we should be doing for our souls and for our iman and our good deeds, is like leaving and establishing something for the next life. So this masjid project, for everybody who's donated and took part in it, as you can see, the buildings here, they're being built, but they're going to be renovated after 50 years or 25 years, or even demolished after 150 years or 300 years. But the donations that you give for the akhirah, brother, are they going to decrease? Are they going to get refurbished? Are they going to get rebuilt? No, they're going to just continue, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying, Habibi?
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. Completely agree with you.
Yeah, 100%. Sadaqah Jariyah, Hudayfa. Excellent. And this is what we got to do with our children. For those parents who've got children, teach them Surah Fatiha. Teach them something that they would do and they will repeat, and then you'll get rewarded for it. Even teaching them Surah Fatiha, or telling them to say Bismillah before you eat, or tell them to say, like I always say to Hudayfa, what you saying, Hudayfa? And Hudayfa would always say, Alhamdulillah, Abu. So I always say to him, always say Alhamdulillah, Hudayfa. And this is what we have to do, brother. Even this is charity. So when your child, as he grows up throughout his life, he will say the word Alhamdulillah because you taught him that word Alhamdulillah, or the Surah Fatiha, and you'll get rewarded for it. And this is what we have to do, brothers and sisters, is teach our children these words of beautiful words of the Quran and Azkar, meaning dhikr. Remembrance of Allah is very, very important, brother friendly Muslim. I do, sometimes, brother friendly Muslim, I do go on a rant, and I feel like I've taken you off the main topic and the discussion. And if I do, brother, just
No, because sometimes sometimes you're on a pathway, and it's kind of just I'm listening and pondering your thoughts also, and sharing in that moment of where you're at and reflecting and pondering, and there's nothing that I can disagree with you on at all. But alhamdulillah, we've touched on everything, but I've got to jump off now,
sure.
and get going. But alhamdulillah, we'll do more of these where and when we can. So
Beautiful.
what's your plan for today, brother?
Today, what we're gonna do, my family's gonna come down and probably go out for a meal, and then from there, we're gonna give our beloved driver Abu Bakr. He's our driver. He's also my relative. A rest today because he's been driving us around, and then we'll just chill out today. I'm gonna have a sports massage done. I'm looking forward to that, and then just relax, brother, today. And then tomorrow, I think we're going to go sightseeing, or might even go to the Masjid Musab ibn Umair. It depends on the situation and the traffic and the New Year and so forth, and just depends on that.
Oh yeah, the new year will be interesting also. You capturing that and just letting us know what's going on and sort of
100%.
educating on that stuff. Oh great! So again, people, you heard it here first, here on Cov Ff, Friendly Muslim, and consider this network. It's all coming on. We're live from Ethiopia, inshallah, and we will be catching you up soon. And look out for the videos that are being uploaded by our beloved brother. And we will catch you on the next one, inshallah. Until next time, brother. Do you want to? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! You do the outro, bro. You do the outro.
Alhamdulillah. Barakallah feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum. Barakallah feekum.